The New England Patriots backfield is very crowded. There's about a half a dozen running backs there. So which one do you want for your fantasy football team? Well, we're going to break it down with SI fantasy analyst Michael Fabiano and the editor of Patriot Maven, Devon Clements. Devon, I'll start with you. Listen, they signed Lamar Miller. Sony Michel's still in action. They have James White. They have Rex Burkhead. They drafted Damien Harris last year. He's expected to get some more burn this year. How is this depth chart going to shake out in that Patriots backfield?
Well, I think based on the way training camp went, it's going to be tough to say right off the bat because there's just so many question marks in that backfield. Like you just said, with Sony Michel coming in halfway through training camp, and Lamar Miller just returning this week after missing all of training camp. I think because of Lamar Miller's situation, I really don't believe he's going to make the roster just because they haven't seen enough out of him yet to evaluate him and make a judgment to put him on the 53-man roster. But in terms of Damien Harris, I think after his strong camp and the fact that there was no preseason and with an expanded playoff format this year, I think the month of September is going to be a lot of experimental football for teams in league. So with that being said, I think the Patriots should wisely give Damien Harris a lot of carries in the first couple weeks of the season because they know he had a strong camp. They know he's a great value when they got him last year. So I think they should just give him a ton of carries and see how it works out for him.
Now, Fabs, you're calling Harris one of your deep sleepers, so double-digit rounds of your fantasy drafts. What is it about Damien Harris, the second-year player for the Patriots, that you like?
Yeah, well, Devin talked about it, how he has really gotten a lot of hype during training camp. And, Bill Belichick, he has been known to sort of redshirt rookie running backs. I mean, he's done it in the past with Stephen Ridley and Shane Vereen. And then Sony Michel only played about 28.6% of the snaps during his rookie campaign. And I get it. The Patriots backfield can be very confusing. We like to call it Bellatrix. But Harris has the highest ceiling out of the group. And I feel like based on his draft price right now and on the Fantasy Football World Championships ADP data, he's coming off the board in the 105.4 range as the RB42. I'm more than willing to take a chance on Harris becoming maybe not the guy because James White will be in there in passing downs, but at least a bigger part of that backfield. And let's not forget, we just heard Lamar Miller might not make the roster, and Sony Michel, he's not the most durable dude in the world. So Harris, to me, is the guy that I'd be targeting outside of James White, New England's backfield.
Yeah, we can do away with some of the Bellatrix, as you say, because he's been burning fantasy managers for a few seasons now. But I think you're right. Damien Harris, you're onto something with this second-year pro. For more on fantasy football rankings, including our custom award-winning cheat sheets, become a member of SI Fantasy Plus by going to si.com/fantasy.